Today I have a story that's been stuck in my head for what feels like forever. You know, when something just won't leave your mind? Yeah, that's this story. And the best part? It involves my granddad, who was the king of storytelling. I mean, we used to gather around the caravan and listen to him tell his tales for hours. And let me tell you, it was always a blast. My siblings and I were hooked, and we adored our granddad. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a tale that'll make you laugh, cry, and maybe even question your sanity. Let's do this. Picture this, that one corner of the caravan that always smelled like a mix of burnt toast and fish and chips. After a long day, we'd all pile in wearing our nighties and snuggle up in the corner pog. It was like our own little sanctuary. And my granddad, bless his heart, would spew out some ridiculous stories that had us rolling on the floor with laughter. But who cares if they made no sense? As long as they made us giggle, it was all good. Man, I miss those days. You know what they say, everyone's got a tale to tell. It's just itching to break free from its shell. I began jotting down my thoughts and plot, but it was missing that special spark, I thought. So I turned it into a rhyming delight. Though it took some time, it was worth the fight. But let's be real, it was a tad too long, so I trimmed it and tweaked it, and now it's strong. Ah, the trusty storyboard sheet, the glue that holds a picture book together. You know what they say, picture books come in 4-hour rates, just like my daily tea intake. I opted for a 32-page template because, let's face it, no one has time for a never-ending story. It helped me visualize the differences in contrast and layout. We don't want readers getting lost in the sauce and reading the ending first, now do we? That's like eating a dessert before your main course. A rookie mistake. Well, unless it's afternoon tea. In that case, I'd definitely eat a savoury, then a sweet, and alternate again, in that order, so I don't get a bellyache by the end. I was faced with the daunting task of printing my book. Do I trust the mighty Amazon, or venture into the unknown world of other print websites? After much contemplation, I decided to go with KDP, because, let's be real, I'm a beginner and I need all the help I can get. Plus, they have this cool print-on-demand feature, which means I don't have to hoard stacks of books in my house like a crazy book hoarder. And let's not forget, Amazon has more traffic than my own website. Talk about taking the easy route. I will still be selling signed copies of Super Poppy on my website, and not just any old copies. I'll be spicing things up with bundles that include stickers and bookmarks and whatnot. But before I go mad and order 1 million awful copies of my book, I'll start with a humble 10 to test the waters. I can't have my bank account crying over a surplus of unsold books now, can I? After much contemplation, I was faced with the daunting task of choosing between a free ISBN from Amazon, which sadly only works on their site, or splurging on a legit ISBN. I mean, Amazon's like that friend who will only lend you things if they know they'll get it back. So, I took a leap of faith and went for the real deal. Who knows, maybe my book will be the next bestseller and I'll have my fancy ISBN to back it up. As I sat pondering my bookmaking decisions, I couldn't help but feel a bit torn. Hardcover, softcover, or ebook. I wanted to do it all, but alas, my book was destined to be a small square. Unfortunately, this size didn't come in a fancy hardcover option. So unless I wanted to go through the hassle of outsourcing, my hardback dreams would have to wait. But hey, who needs a hardcover when the softcover is just as fabulous? Plus, with a glossy cover, you won't have to constantly worry about sticky little hands making a mess. Because, let's face it, kids will be kids. The highlight of this tale is when the crocodile and Super Poppy throw down in a fierce battle. It was a blast getting these characters to this epic showdown. But my favourite part of this whole adventure was creating these characters and drawing their adventures. I had a great time experimenting with different art materials on each page. I must confess, I have a soft spot for traditional mediums, but I do add a little bit of digital magic and sketching on my iPad Pro after. I believe it's worth it because there's just something about the traditional way that can't be replicated on a screen. After tirelessly perfecting my initial sketch and fine line art, I decided to spice things up by adding some watercolour. And let me tell you, it was like a party on every page. But I didn't stop there. Oh no, I whipped out my trusty colour soft pencils to really make those finer details pop. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, I tore up some pages to create a textured masterpiece. The end result, Super Poppy's rainbow farts literally jumped off the page. I even incorporated this technique in other areas to tie the whole piece together. After scanning all of the drawings onto my computer, I utilised Affinity Designer to incorporate the font. For a book of this nature, it's optimal to use legible font. While stylised writing can be eye-catching, it may prove challenging for young readers to follow. Although the task was time-consuming, I took pleasure in selecting the fonts and experimenting with their sizes. To enhance the reading experience, I injected bursts of colour into the font and underlined the rhyming words. Overall, it was an enjoyable and imaginative process. Making Super Poppy was a blast, but let's be real, there were some moments that made me want to pull my hair out, like when I had to format every single page and play Sherlock Holmes to hunt down any pesky errors. It was like a never-ending game of whack-a-mole. I must have read and reread that thing a million times before exporting it, only to discover a few sneaky mistakes after the fact. Needless to say, my export button was giving me some serious finger cramps. Well, let me tell you, navigating through Amazon KDP was like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. But after some trial and error, I finally cracked the code. So watch out, world, my next book will be a piece of cake. I've got this whole KDP thing down to a science. Despite the learning curve, I had a blast creating my book, and I'm already itching to make another one. Don't forget to show some love by hitting that subscribe button and giving this video a thumbs up. And if you're feeling extra generous, share it with your friends and family too. Oh, and in case you haven't already, make sure to check out the links in the description and visit my website. I've got some pretty cool stuff for sale like stickers and bookmarks. Plus, I take commission requests for portraits and illustrations so you can have your very own personalised art piece. And let's not forget about my amazing children's book that we've just been talking about this whole time. Don't worry, I won't judge you if you missed that part. I know you were probably too busy laughing at my jokes. See you!